Girls are kind of lucky, don't they, Mom?
Why do you say that?
Well, they don't have to be smart. They don't have to get jobs or anything. All they gotta do is get married.
Well, Beaver, being smart isn't exactly a drawback to marriage.
Well, if they don't get married, well, they can become dressmakers or cut people's nails in a barber shop or take care of kids and a lot of other dumb stuff.
Well, Beaver, today girls can be doctors and lawyers, too, you know. They're just as ambitious as boys are.
You mean there's no dumb people left in the world, Mom?
For many of my peers and those a few years older than me, these scenes of Leave It to Beaver served as the model of a nuclear family. But like many things from the 1950s, it no longer reflects current reality. But don't tell that to Team Trump and the architects of a second-term blueprint, Project 2025. After the unprecedented assaults on norms, the rule of law, checks and balances, nothing should surprise us about just how far they're willing to go, including determining what kind of families are appropriate and which ones aren't. As a backdrop, many of you may remember last May, the kicker of the then Super Bowl champs, Harrison Butker, giving a commencement address to Benedictine College. The speech went viral for the message he specifically targeted to the young female graduates.
I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world.
He went on to emphasize that instead of going out into the workforce, they, the female graduates, should marry as soon as possible, get pregnant, and defer to their husband. While homemaking is as important a job as I can think of, the idea that some kicker is telling young women to throw their diplomas in the trash and get in the kitchen seems so stunningly out of touch that he was quickly dismissed as a proselytizing putz. If only. Right-wing media personality and MAGA favorite Charlie Kirk last week spoke at a Young Women Leadership Conference. While on stage, a teenage student who was interested in becoming a political journalist asked him for advice in pursuing her dream in college. Here is Kirk's response.
Just be clear that's why you're going to college, right? Don't lie to yourself, I'm studying sociology. No, you're not. We know why you're here. And that's okay, actually. And that's a really good reason to go to college, actually, especially an SEC school. You will find a husband.
Now, before anyone thinks these two Neanderthals are only speaking for themselves, understand that they're previewing the actual agenda of the Trump administration. As I mentioned, Project 2025, which despite Trump's original denials as a candidate, is proving to be a direct roadmap for his presidency. As it relates to the American family, it has very clear plans on what it should look like and how it will reward those who follow their directives and punish those who don't. Calling the Dobbs ruling that allowed states to abolish women's reproductive rights only the beginning, it says in black and white that, quote, family stability will be the centerpiece of the Trump administration, end quote. On page 451, it defines the quote-unquote right kind of family as a married mother, father, and their children. It goes on to say that the Department of Health and Human Services needs to promote this biblical concept of family, and that the government has, in essence, the right to reward and punish families depending on if they follow this model. Same-sex couples, for example, don't fit their family definition, and businesses should be protected if they choose to discriminate against them. Federal grants should be made available to faith-based groups who promote their marriage model and be denied to any who support diversity in any form. Child tax credits will be awarded to families where there are two parents, a male and female, and be denied to single-parent households, let alone anyone with gay parents. Benefits, they'd be prioritized for families who fit their vision and denied to those that don't. Federally funded family planning clinics will be required to promote the importance of marriage and describe homes without a husband as, quote, among the most dangerous places for a child to be, end quote. There's much more insanity in this manifesto, but to get the preview of what's in the pipeline. The hypocrisy that a philanderer and a twice-divorced father, Trump, who paid hush money to a porn star a month after his wife delivered their youngest child, and all but admitted to be an absentee dad to his kids' youths, is the voice of a nuclear family unit, is the least of my problems with this. I'm a product of a nuclear family, and I'm a married husband of a current one. But exactly how the hell does that give me the right to tell any of you that that's how you're supposed to live? Do we penalize widows, women who escape abusive households, same-sex marriages, or just people who choose not to get married but love their children just as much as I love mine? Who is the government to demonize children raised in non-traditional households? And further, who is the government to decide who's supposed to work and who isn't when it comes to adults? Beyond the offensive social engineering, the facts also confirm the stupidity of this idea. Labor force participation among prime-age women has never been higher. Rates of marriage and childbirth are also down among women overall, especially women with less formal education, which tend to vote red. Of married households, it has never been more necessary to have both salaries to cover spiraling costs. How exactly does this brain trust suppose subtracting a paycheck and still making ends meet? It also defies logic considering that our law and our medical schools now have more women than men in them. It's 2025, people, not 1955. And by the way, that's a good, not a bad thing. Going backwards in time embraces discrimination, inequality, and frankly, idiocy. But again, when did that stop these guys?